God, these taste good. I'm good. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to me talking about this book here, The Fifth Season. Now, this is the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, and I am reading this as part of a year-long N.K. Jemisin read-along that is being put on by the channel The Curious Owl. I will link it below. Now, we will be having a live show to talk about this book on February 4th at 8 p.m. So tune in if you're interested. So anyway, so this particular book I read for January, and I gotta say, it definitely packs a punch, and it has a lot in these 400 something or whatever odd pages. Now, N.K. Jemisin is a fantasy sci-fi writer, and she won the Hugo Award 3 years in a row for the Broken Earth trilogy. So that is pretty darn impressive. So I had a lot of high hopes for reading this book, and for the most part, I don't think that it disappointed. Now, she is very much known for her worlds building, and I see what people are talking about. Like, she has a map at the beginning of this book that talks about the areas that, you know, you're talking about in the book, and then there's two appendices in the back, one that has descriptions of the terminologies that she uses in the book, and the other that talks about the different time periods. So this world is very much fleshed out for sure. So she did her research. Now, you also have a lot of really unique environments inside of the book as well. Like, you have very rustic environments, you have some techie environments, and you have some beautiful, fantastical environments too. You also have a unique cast of characters, like it's very racially diverse as well as diverse in sexualities. And as far as with the people, you have like three different kind of races of people, if you will. You have the Stills, which are normal humans like you and me. You also have Origines, which are humans that can, you know, manipulate like thermal energy and kinetic energy that causes shifts in the world. And then you also have these humanoid forms called stone eaters that basically look and move like stones, and they eat stones, which is pretty interesting. As far as with plot, you're basically following three characters. You have Demaya, who is this young girl that has been determined to be an Origine. So out of fear, her parents lock her inside of a barn, and you have a guardian that comes to get her. Now, the guardian is from this famous Fulcrum school that basically trains these Origines so that they can be useful, kind of like a weapon. And then you have Cyan. She's like this 20-year-old trained Origine at Fulcrum University that is very ambitious, and she's receiving her mission, which is basically to kind of like be a breeder, and then she needs to go on some mission with this senior Origine. And then you have Esun, who is this Origine female that has just discovered that her son was killed by the dad because the dad found out that the son was an Origine. And then he has taken their daughter and run off. So she's looking for him. So the book follows this three characters and everybody surrounding them. And you're trying to figure out how they connect with each other and what that has to do with the fate of the world. Now, I think early on you get the feeling that this is going to be an important story and that there's a whole lot of underlying meaning to what is on paper. It was told almost kind of like biblically with the beginning of the earth and then how it was fractured. And it mentions Father Earth. And I felt like I got more invested in the story as time went on. Initially, I was very much confused. I felt that the book was mysterious and suspenseful, and there was a gradual unfolding of the story that led to a lot of shockers, and I really did appreciate that. I did feel that it was a bit slow paced, but it was a very adequate slow pace, and that pace was needed to thoroughly flesh out this story, so I really did not mind at all. I also felt there was some comedy within the writing, definitely a lot of sarcasm, and I could appreciate that as well. I like the Origins connection to the Earth, and I felt like the Earth was almost like another character in the book. And I felt like when the Origins were connecting to the Earth, in my mind, I just kept feeling like it was almost like a love story between the Earth and the Origins. I will say that it was hard for me at times to get into the action until that pivotal moment where, you know, all hell broke loose, because it just wasn't like my kind of action. I just couldn't visualize it sometimes. And as far as with the unique romance that was going on, it definitely was not steamy. I almost felt like it was YA, except for some of the actions that happened. It was more like a fade to black. But I did enjoy the unique romance type situations that was put inside of the book. I feel like as far as with the emotions with the characters, it really wasn't there. However, I felt like there was a lot that you feel in between the words that were said on page. So it's more of a emotion that you denote from the words instead of the characters actually expressing that to you. Now, as far as with the ending of the book, because this is indeed a trilogy, it didn't leave with a cliffhanger per se. However, if you are invested in this book, you definitely want to have the other book handy, because it leaves at a very interesting part. As far as me continuing the trilogy, I'm debating about whether or not I am invested enough in these characters and in this world in order to continue, because it's not exactly like my type of action. The energy magic is cool, but I really just can't visualize it, and it's, you know, at points I'm like, let's just see what the end result is. I think that is a drawback for me, but that is nothing on this book. I think it's excellent as is. I think it's one of the most fleshed out fantasies I think that I have probably ever read in my life. I think the Stone Eaters are really, really cool. I wouldn't mind knowing more about them and the relationship that I enjoy. Well, we'll leave that one alone. But I'm going to think about whether or not I'm going to continue, especially since I own this one and I got this one from the library. So I do have access to the next book. I just am figuring out whether or not I want to continue with the other, that's 400. The other one's like another 4. So that's another 800 pages into the series. You know, there's a lot of books that I want to read. So, we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, let me know if you have read this book or read the trilogy, and let me know what you think about it. Like I said, we are having a live show to discuss this bad boy here on February 4th at 8 p.m. EST on the Curious Owls channel. I will list that as soon as I get the link, and we'll go from there. So please like, subscribe, and comment, and I hope to hear from you about this. Good job, N.K. Jemisin.